Welcome back to Wasteland. Today we're going to start working on New Vegas. Or Las Vegas, sorry. Wrong game. Alright, we came in from the other side. Oops. Found a cactus. We're in a golf course. And first things first, we are going to visit Fat Freddy, as soon as I remember where he is. Nope. Yep, here we go. So we can just beat those guys to death. Loot. And here we are. There are slot machines, or roulette, where you can gamble if you want, but we're not going to bother doing that. The other thing I've done for this recording is I have turned off the up-resed graphics, portrait graphics. Obviously these graphics have never been up-resed. So we will be doing the old school graphics. So let's take a look at the old school graphics. Gambler and prostitute game. Yeah, all the older graphics had this very simple animation. And needless to say, the prostitute there was quite interesting to a 12-year-old. So I'll go ahead and blow them all away. There's not much loot here. Now, Fat Freddy doesn't care if you kill the gamblers in front or the guards in front. He's kind of a scumbag. So, if you remember Dave's journal, you'll get the password. Bird is the word. So, here we go. We've got a chance to talk to Fat Freddy. If you apologize and leave, I don't remember what happens. I don't know if it's good or if it just pops you back out the door. You can straight up attack, or you can talk to him. We will talk to him.
Fat Freddy is a genetic nightmare, a squamous mash of slimy flesh, shuddering and twitching before you like some animated blob of flesh-colored jello. He smells like a swamp, a foul, choking miasma of rotting Macedonian flesh left to putrefy. His presence is overwhelming. Perhaps he has some mutant ability to control men's minds. While in his presence, you have to sternly control an urge to salute or kneel. There's no doubt that he is a leader of men. When he speaks, his voice sounds like bubbles of carbon dioxide burbling up out of a morass. It's difficult to understand him, but after the first few phrases of introduction, you begin to get the hang of it. Fat Freddy is a man driven by ambition, and he has an offer to make. Brygo thinks he controls Vegas, burbles Freddy, but he isn't half the man I am. This should be my town, and it will be. I've had your men watched since you got to Vegas. They tell me you're the best fighters ever seen in these parts. Well, then it shouldn't be too tough for you to do me a favor. Kill Faran Brygo, and bring me the onyx ring he always wears. And when you do that, I'll give you $25,000 and anything else you want in this town. You tell him that you need a few minutes to think things over, and go into a corner to confer among yourselves. You have a very strong feeling that Freddy doesn't want to hear any negatives out of you.
If you say no, bad things happen. Specifically, that's when the gas attack happens. So we'll say yes. And get a grand. Not too bad. So, he wants us to kill Faran Brygo. But we don't know how to get to Faran Brygo. Luckily, though, I know where Spades Casino is. Spades Casino is owned by Faran Brygo. And, again, we've got more gamblers. And just like with Fat Freddy, you can go to town killing people and nobody cares. You can't gamble afterwards, though.
The hobo nods to you, and then drains the bottle of snake squeezins. Twins born by the same hands, he intones solemnly, are twins no more. Wake the sleeper to cure the sick.
That is not the right paragraph.
3 card montes played with 10 cards. One is a queen, and the others are tens. The dealer shuffles the cards and places them face down on the table. The player then has one guess to pick out the queen. The bet is $10.
Yeah. Part of the reason that's in there is because there are fake paragraphs dealing with alternate rules, especially when you get to high-low, where they're talking about throwing bombs and stuff like that. Now, we're going to go in here. Maybe. Oh, crap. Oh, there goes my combat macro. We'll deal with that now. Now we got to re-record. Attack 4, single attack 3, single attack 2, single attack 1, single attack 3, single attack 2, single attack 1, single attack 2, single attack 1, single attack 1, single. Yes. And now we got to kill all these people. There's a reason for this. And it's, we don't care about them. We don't care about that. We care about what's in here. The guard leader. That's what we care about, because he has something we need. Well, not need. Something we want. Laser pistol. And a Kevlar suit that we can sell. Whoops. It's a bad idea to have energy weapon yet. No. Figures. Nobody. Okay, now we go over here. Squeaky board. I don't remember exactly what happens if you trip that. I think a guard comes to get you. Nothing much. And cutie. Man, you really need to boost your pick lock. Actually, we're going to take a little detour. We're going to go... burn through this. Move a little closer. Oh, they're running away. Switch to bursts. Let's grab some laws. More robots. This place is lousy with robots. There we go. Oh, okay. Gun droids. Okay. Go up. Slicer dicers are weak. There we go. And I think, yep, this is the one we want. You'll see why in a second. Once we clear all this out. Mercenary. Nope. Snipers. Ah, there they are. Nope. AP. Combat hacker. That's why we went in here, as a proton axe. There are only 2 of those in the game. Oops. Oh, we found a landmine. Okay. Yeah, there's only 2 proton axes in the game. They are the best melee weapon in the game. They are also really good at opening doors. And rope. Now, normally this isn't worth dealing with. Oh, well, we fell down. But yeah, there's nothing in here. This is just the basement. However, this is a very important place because of that. Yeah, everyone's raising their climb because you can raise it to 4 or 5. However, because Mad Dog Fargo does not have climb, you never advance. See, if you just had bad idea, see, you can climb over that. As long as you have someone that doesn't have climb, nobody can get over that. However, what this does is every time you succeed in a climb roll, which people are doing, except Mad Dog, who doesn't have it, you're getting a little bit of experience. This is how people grind for experience. It's kind of like the perception check by Ugly's Hideout, except it's much more efficient, because all you have to do is weigh down the arrow key and then leave the computer for a few days. I got a party of Supreme Jerks, which is the highest level, by doing that. No, looks like Fargo got experience anyway. And then we use the RPG, blow a hole, and you pop out over there, as opposed to having to climb up the rope. Actually, we're going to bail going this way. It's faster to do it this way. Energy weapon. You still don't have enough for energy weapon. Alright. Do you have enough for doctor? No. Covenant, you suck. You have enough for doctor. Okay. And someone's got cryptology, right? Yes, you have cryptology. Okay. Now, we swing back around. Oh, right. Back to Spade's Casino. That's what I'm doing. Also, somewhere in the golf course is a secret stash. I believe Charmin tells you about that. Anyway, now that you've got that, you'll equip that. Alright. Here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so that bounces around a little bit, but we scroll back up. Okay, here we go.
The pit boss sends a stream of brown saliva from between his front teeth to the tip of your boots. He slowly sucks on the tobacco pocketed between his cheek and gum as he continues to eye you. Working a finger into his mouth, he scoots the chew around and finally breaks the silence. "See Crumb, the manager," he says, with a long drawl.
Okay, then we're sent to Crumb.
"Hi, they call me Crumb," he says with a nod of his head. After he exchanges handshakes with everybody, he tells you, "See Faran Brygo? He's my boss. Be sure to use the password Kestrel." As you leave, he yells, "Tell him I sent you."
Yep, Kestrel. That's the password. That's important to keep in mind. Let's see. There's really not too much else in here. Beds. This is a weird thing, because it says you spotted something strange here, but there's nothing here. I have never found whatever it is. Big Al. Hi, Al. Okay, there's no need to bother with all those people. So now we have to find Faran Brygo. Finding him can be a bit of a pain because there's nothing to tell you where he is. But again, I know where he is. So we'll be fine. Oh, right, you're using a laser pistol. Whoops. Go up here. Save. Memories. And here it is, the Scorpitron, the bad guy that everybody remembers in this game. Because he will destroy you at this point. You do not have the weapons or the armor to put up with, to deal with him. And you can't ever get close to him. I remember fighting him as a kid and having a panic, so I ran into this abandoned building here. Only to be bumped with a password, not know the password, and get tossed out. Kestrel. Old software development house. Save game. Now is where it gets a little tricky. Because if you talk to Faran Brygo, he tells you to look for Max. Okay. And then you're bumped out. And I don't remember if you're kicked out of the building or just kicked out of the office, but either way, you can't go back in to talk to him again. And I don't want to get locked out because we're going to raid this place. So, on the other computer, I have pulled up the paragraph. So, I will go ahead and play paragraph 7 for you all.
Once the introductions have been made, the big boss pulls out a box of cigars and passes them around, explaining that it is his special blend grown somewhere further north. When everyone is comfortable and the bodyguards have taken up unobtrusive positions behind you, he begins to talk. You must be the Rangers sent to help. What do you mean? You cautiously ask. One of my men is missing. We don't think he's dead because he's too valuable to kill. We think some other group in town has grabbed him. If we don't get him back, the whole town will probably be overrun by these damn death machines that have started to appear. Because he's the only one in town with the scientific know-how to fight them. He's the one who thought of the landmines. And they've destroyed more robots than anything else in town. Brygo reaches into his desk and brings out a drawing of a rather ordinary-looking man. This is Max, he explains. He came to us about a year ago from the Wasteland to the east. He was the greatest hand-to-hand fighter we'd ever seen, and he also seemed to know a lot about the science from before the war. He didn't remember where he came from, at least that's what he told us. I quickly made him my right-hand man. When we began to hear rumors of death machines coming out of the west, especially when the first of them reached the Vegas border several weeks ago, Max grew frantic. He began to talk crazy about how all life was in peril and how only he could save us. He said he needed special equipment and that someone near Vegas should have it. I should have put a guard on him then, but instead I decided to send Ace out to look for help. One night, Max disappeared. We've been looking for him ever since without success. Now I've lost my best man, and things are getting worse. Newer, stronger robotic death machines are appearing all the time. If we don't find Max soon, even a fortress like this may not be able to hold out against the death machines. Go see Charmaine in the Mushroom Church. Tell her I sent you, and she may be able to help. You nod your head. Yeah, we've tangled with some of these death machines before. We gotta stop whoever's making them. Any clues? There are 2 other power groups here in Vegas that we know of. Fat Freddy runs the criminal element. He'd like to take over my position. There's also the servants of the Mushroom Cloud, religious fanatics who won't be happy until every person in Vegas has been converted to their own poisonous religion. There may be others. Vegas is a big town. But those are the ones we suspect most. I need you to go find Max. What do you say? Will you do it? The Desert Rangers huddle for a few minutes. You decide that taking on this mission could be quite an adventure, and decide to go for it. Besides, your curiosity's been aroused. You're sure that Max knows a lot more than he has told Brygo. If you want explanations, he's the man you'll need to see. Alright, you tell the boss. We'll find him if he's findable. In the meantime, you try to hold out here. The big boss stands up, shakes your hands, and wishes you all luck. And then he shows you the way out.
Right, okay. A lot of information in there. A lot of very important information in there. Specifically, this is where you learn what the hell you're supposed to be doing. Max is key. He's also got probably the only paragraph that's longer than this monster. There's also a couple other interesting things in here. The death machines are coming out of the west. That's key. This is where we learned that Ace works for Faran Brygo. He does mention that. It's a little weird with the Mushroom Church, but they're a big deal. Let's see, what else is there? My personal theory is that the Scorpitron outside Faran Brygo's joint is there to keep him pinned down, because it's the only one that's there, and it's in a perfect position to guard the door. So I think he's under siege, but he's also trapped. He can't go anywhere. And let's see, what else is there? There was one other thing I wanted to mention. Let me skim. Death machines before. Find Max. Max does know more than he's saying. He does know a lot from before the war. He is a good hand-to-hand fighter. He does know where he came from. Oh, right. Where he said he needing special equipment, and that someone near Vegas should have it. That is very true. The special equipment he needs is from... There's a couple places. We'll get to them eventually. Anyway, we're here to see Mr. Brygo, and Crumb sent us. Oh, and we got a paragraph. Can we read that now?
Faran Brygo's office is modest, yet clean and pleasant. 2 guards, one tall, blonde, and stern-looking. The other shorter and stockier, flank the desk. Brygo, a dark, handsome man, smiles at you. I understand you want to speak with me, gentlemen.
Yeah. Faran Brygo. Not to be confused with Brian Fargo. I'm sure he's very handsome. We're going to attack. Got a couple guards. No big deal. These are all easy fights. But now we're stuck. But, whoops, secret door. There's a reason we're doing all of this. It's a lot of fights, constant fights, but there's a couple things in here. One is loot, the other is this computer. Ooh, Wasteland 2. And I did shiver back in 99 when I got this far. Unfortunately, it took another 20-some years before we got Wasteland 2. Although Wasteland 2 does have an Easter egg in it where you see a computer saying Wasteland 3. The joke, of course, being it'll be another 26 years before that comes about. Lever. Pull the lever. That lever opens. You'll see in a minute. Oh, push your button, slides that open. That lever opens the block that's right there. Was right there. Pair of guards. Yep. So do what you got to do before you leave. Guard. Guard. Okay. This is why we're here. The big boss's personal whatever. He's got a jacuzzi. And a bench. And another jacuzzi. And, haha, there's something strange about this song. Hieroglyphic graffiti? Interesting. Hey, cryptography. How about that? Let's see. Let me check something real quick. Okay, you've got forgery. Go in here, and we have Brygo's vault. And ammo. Wow, a lot of ammo. We'll sell those. And cash. Okay, that's why we do this, is because the reward and the loot for blasting through that is well worth it. There was a landmine there. You have a chance to jump over it. We failed. And Faran Brygo. Yeah, look at that square jaw. That's a handsome man. That's a dead man. Onyx ring. There's also an onyx ring that you can find elsewhere in the game, just sort of lying around. That door down there takes you out by the front. And so we're gonna go visit. We're gonna go visit Freddy. And then that'll be it for this video. Someone ripped a clip. And let's see. Reload. Yeah, the Mark IIIs are pretty tough. It takes quite a bit to chip them down. And laser pistols are kind of crap. There we go. Fortunately, oh, yep. Ripping your clip is a great way to increase your skill. As you can see, I went from a 1 energy weapon to a 4 an energy weapon. But we're done with energy weapon. With that laser pistol, we're just going to sell it. Let's go up here. Out of town shortcut. Yeah. Mark 1s are nothing special. Let's see, that's Crumb. There we go, there's Freddy. Nobody wants loot. Now we're going to go visit Freddy. Bird.
Fat Freddy turns the ring over in his thick hands. A smile creeps onto his face like scum over stagnant water. I don't believe it. You actually were foolish enough to kill him? He stares at you with piggish eyes. You are obviously too dangerous to live.
And now we fight a whole bunch of people. Now I want to try and keep Fat Freddy alive. pretty much kills off all the guards. Burst, load. And we got all of them evading because I don't want the NPCs accidentally shooting Fat Freddy, because I want to show his picture. Because he's unique. There we go, there's Fat Freddy. Some of the other pictures of Fat Freddy have him looking even grosser, but yeah, there's where what's his nuts? Gizmo in Fallout comes from. Actually, all of Junktown was basically based on this. One side versus the other. The Gizmo versus I don't know, Decker or whatever the hell his name was. Okay. So, now we are done with the groundwork on Vegas. We've done Fat Freddy, we've done Faran Brygo. We are not going to be doing the Scorpitron yet. And we've done the prison. Oh. He's got energy weapon and doctor. Okay. So that's it for this video. When we come back, we will do the Servants of the Mushroom Cloud and probably part of the sewer.